It's lovely to be here today. Thanks so much, Em, for inviting me to come along and speak today. I couldn't miss this event, so I said to Em, if you can make the 2nd of August work, I'll be there. I'm actually 37 and a half weeks pregnant. So here I am. I absolutely adore Google, and I have seen the results of what I actually can do for businesses. So today, I am going to show you the top tools that I use within my business. We don't have time to go through every single one of them, but I urge you to look at the workbook. I have 6 tools in there, step-by-step guides on how to actually set them up for yourself. But full transparency, people pay me anything up to 80 grand a year to get them the results, okay? So I am going to go through everything rapid fire today and ensure that you actually get the most value from my presentation today. So picture this, right? It's this week, 6 years ago, I'm in the boardroom with my previous boss, and I'm witnessing the lies coming out of his mouth, promising the world and under-delivering to this client to try and get them over the line. Now, to me, I'm like thinking to myself, surely this guy knows the difference between right and wrong. The reality of the situation is I've worked for 3 agencies here in Australia, and it all had the same common thread, promising the world, promising results that Google cannot even promise you, and it's all about the financial gain at the end of the day. That, to me, where I come from in Ireland, my morals is trust, respect, loyalty, integrity. We do things the right way. So I felt very much misaligned with who I was working for. And what I discovered in that moment was like, oh, okay, well, if these cowboys are getting away with doing the wrong thing, surely there's a space for doing the right thing. And no word of a lie, I actually had 10 clients this week, 6 years ago, to approach me to say, can you just do your own thing because nobody cares much about us like you do. I was like, okay. So that's how the business started, and that's the Search Republic, formerly known as the Marketing Republic. But what I wanted to just say to you is that I have seen the good and bad and ugly in my industry, and I really believe that there is a space for doing the right thing, which is why I'm here to educate you today and blow your mind when it comes to Google. What I'm about to show you as well today is like something that no other Google expert would show you, because they don't want you to know. They don't want you to know what they're up to. So I'm going to show you today. But I'm not going to go through this in massive detail, but there's actually an opportunity to win a competition today. My newest offering, we're currently doors open and doors are closing on the 14th of August. So I'd highly recommend you scan the QR code to be in with a chance. You can follow the criteria, it's in the workbook. So I'm going to speak in analogies that you understand. A website without relevant visitors, no matter how good the design, is like putting a billboard in the middle of the desert. Nobody will see it. So if you follow me on socials, I will always speak in that sort of context, because that is the reality of the situation. The majority of websites that we actually see are amazing looking, but they do not work. So you are essentially a billboard in the desert. Okay, what's the point in having a sexy website if nobody can find you? Okay, our goal as Google experts is to actually bring your traffic through your website so you're not a billboard in the desert. But unfortunately, 90% of websites that we actually see are billboards in the desert, okay? So best place to hide a dead body is on page 2 of Google. Nobody's going to look there. Am I right? Who goes on Google and goes to page 3 and page 4 and page 5? Nobody, right? So the reality of what it is, the goal of what we do is to actually get you to first page. Can I guarantee you that that's going to happen? Absolutely not. If anyone tells you, I can guarantee you I will get you to first page presence of Google in this amount of time frame, run for the hills. They're wanting your money. They don't care about you, really. Trust me. I worked for a lot of them here in Perth, unfortunately. Google is the biggest marketplace in the world, okay? Whether you believe it or not, in the online environment. Anyone who is and ever will be your customer is on Google, and they search every second, every minute, every hour, every day. And if your business is nowhere to be found and you're a billboard in the desert, you are losing your potential clients that are really interested in what it is that you do. Just to go through rapid fire some stats for you, there's 99,000 searches per second on Google. Okay, 8.5 billion searches per day. 2 trillion searches per year happen on Google, okay? And 75% of those users do not scroll past the first page, okay? So what I want you to also consider is that Google is a giant. It is a beast, okay? They own 92.24% of the overall market share. And the reason why they own that amount of market share is because they constantly change the rules. You very rarely go to Google. Well, actually, I never go to Google and get a bad experience. When I say about bad experience, When we put our search query into Google, we're expecting to be matched with the most relevant search term. We never not get what we're looking for. That is why Google owns so much more of the market share over Bing and Yahoo, okay? They're constantly changing the rules. They do not care about you as a business. They care about who is the person that can solve the problem for their ideal client, because Google only cares that people are coming back using the search engine time and time again. Is everyone following me, yeah? Cool. I hope you can keep up, because my Irish, I already speak very fast and I'm like trying to get everything in today. When it comes to Google, there's actually 5,000 algorithm changes that happen every single year. So when I say algorithm, we're talking about a rule, right? So obviously algorithms happen on Instagram and all social media platforms. On Google, there's 5,000 a year. So the job of an SEO expert is to keep up with 5,000 rules that happen every single day, every single year, okay? So if you're not only keeping up with the rules that are happening every single year, you're also trying to bulletproof your website to ensure you don't get hit with the next algorithm change that's about to come. So doing a page of content and uploading that on your website is a very small fraction of doing the whole SEO spectrum, okay? It's on-page, off-page technical. There are massive deliverables across a range of different aspects within a Google. There's two approaches. We have white hat SEO and we have black hat SEO. Black hat is a no-no, okay? Black hat SEO, the majority of people that have been burnt by agencies are companies that they have partnered with, where the client has partnered with an agency and they've outsourced their services to a company in India, okay? This happens all the time. So you have the people that drop into your DMs saying, oh, I get you first page presence, or they give you your cold call and there's somebody calling from call center. Cheaper is not better, guys. I've seen clients lose millions in business because their SEO was penalized because they partnered with the wrong agency. And unfortunately, my industry is not regulated, which is scary, okay? So we always want to be doing white hat SEO, okay? White hat SEO is the way to do SEO and to ensure you show up for the problem that you solve on Google and you're passing all the rules, okay? So when we're actually thinking about all of these rules, we need to consider, okay, how long does that actually take, Sonja? Okay, usually takes anything from 6 to 12 months. We've seen sometimes it take 24 months, even longer, depending on the competitiveness of the industry. So SEO needs to be treated like a long-term relationship, just like how you would start dating Google. Okay, we don't expect our significant other to drop the knee the very next day, do we? But the reality is that we live in a world of instant gratification. So I want you to consider 71% of users start their buyer journey using a search engine. If that is true, well, why aren't we there? Okay, because what happens with your ideal client, they're looking for you to solve their problem. They're very far down the funnel. They're ready to buy from you, but you're nowhere to be found. So what will they will find a business in this day and age, and then they will actually go to social media to back up what they found. Be like, oh, I found these guys on Google. Let's see what they're doing on social media. It reinforces the buyer journey behavior, okay? Your consumers are becoming more discerning than ever. They're not going to take you for face value. They're not going to just take you off your website. They want to actually see what kind of a person they want to do business with, okay? Full disclosure, I have 17 channels growing my business for me. I do not focus on social media. I don't just solely focus on Google, I focus on the omni-channel approach. And I'm sure if you're here today, Emma has driven that point home. It's no longer sufficient to just focus on one channel to grow your business. It's multi-channel, which is why you have all of these experts in the room with you today, talking to you about the things that you actually need to do to grow your business. Because we're in the times that we're in, you need to pivot your marketing strategy, okay? So also what I want you to realize is that according to Forbes, 41% of businesses still rely on social media organic as a main revenue driver, which is insane. It's like, okay, it's great, but back in the day it was easier. It's not easier anymore. Go join Emma's program, sort yourself out, save yourself time, you know? It is a multi-channel approach that you have to your marketing. It's just no longer sufficient to just show up on social media when the majority of your customers are looking for you on Google, but you're a billboard in the desert. They want to use socials to back up what they found, okay? I hope I'm not going too fast. Has anyone heard of the mere exposure effect? No. So I'm going to explain what that actually means. In 2005, your average ideal client would need 5.6 exposures to your brand before they would start talking to you about your products and services. In 2024, they need between 23 and 25 exposures to your brand before they start talking to a business about their product and services. And that's when we're talking to every aspect of the marketing funnel. Emma touched on it earlier. Top of the funnel, awareness, needing 23 to 25 exposures. Then you obviously have your middle of the funnel, okay, people that already know you. But then down the bottom of the funnel, if you think about it, Google, actually, people have a problem that needs to be solved and they're ready to buy from you, but they can't find you, okay? So my next analogy, treat Google like a relationship. Again, we don't expect that significant other to drop the knee the very next day. But the thing is, we need to realize is that over time, you date somebody, your trust is going to be built with that significant other over time. It's not going to happen straight away. Just even if we met anyone in the room and we're building any sort of a relationship with them, we're not going to trust them straight away, that we're just human beings, okay? It takes time. But I want you to treat Google as the significant other that you're trying to woo, and you're trying to be like, oh, I'm sure I'm marriage material, okay? That takes time, and that actually, you can't cheat. You have to play by the rules. So when I say don't cheat, don't do black hat SEO. White hat SEO is the only way to do SEO, okay? We all want to win the lottery. Everyone talks about, if I ever win the lotto, this is what I will do. But nobody's buying tickets, yeah? But we're expecting things to happen yesterday. But then we're not prepared to do the work. We expect it to just fall out of the sky, and that's not the reality when it comes to Google. It's the biggest marketplace in the world. You need to get in line and follow the rules because your business will reap the rewards in the long run. So we can make you a billboard in Times Square and get out of that desert, okay? Any business that's a billboard in Times Square, it's a lot of consistency over years of building a brand, as well as marketing strategy. It just doesn't happen overnight, and we can't expect that to happen. Now, another one of my lovely analogies. And Emma's touched on this as well, websites. The majority of websites that we see are Ferraris without engines, sexy websites that don't convert. Right, you need to make sure your website actually converts when they arrive on the site. Now, in the workbook, I have a tool called Hotjar, which basically puts you can actually put coding in the back end of your site and actually track where people are falling off your website. And it's a very easy thing to do. And essentially, that will infer the changes that you need to make to a website as to why your end user is falling off your site. Anyone that comes on your website, you need to very clearly define what problem you solve in the masthead before they scroll, okay? Any changes that you make to a desktop device, make sure they're on a mobile. It should always be mobile first, and it should be fleshed out to desktop secondary. Phone call, email inquiry in the top right-hand corner. If you're a service-based business, the majority of websites that we see, 95% of them, we have to do UX changes before we can switch on a Google Ads campaign, because it's sexy, but it doesn't work. And again, when website designs are being driven by a business owner and not an expert, of course, it's going to be a mismatch. It's actually not about you. It's actually about your client and the problem that you solve, and make sure you can solve the problem quickly. Your website should be the best salesperson that you've ever had, that never takes a sick day and works 365 days a year. Wouldn't we all love employees like that? Wouldn't we? Well, the thing is, in order to get your unicorn team members, I have a lot of them that work for me. Just going to say they're amazing. But again, they didn't come with everything that I wanted them to begin with. Like, it required a lot of maintenance for me to actually deliver on that. And essentially, by putting the maintenance and putting the training into my team, they have given me tenfold to reap the rewards. So I want you to think about your website to swap your ongoing training for ongoing web maintenance, because that is what happens. When you do that, your marketing will not only pay for itself, but you'll make profit on top, just like our client Jess. After all her marketing costs were paid to us, she's grown her bottom line by 53% after paying the marketing costs. That's the goal of doing marketing. It's not a cost. So if your accountant says, do not spend any more money until business picks up, they're an accountant for a reason. They're trying to get you to stop spending money. But at the same time, if you don't invest in your business, nothing changes, okay? So that's only one of the client examples that we have. How SEO works in terms of the search result. This is what I'm talking about. It's the positions up here without the sponsored section, okay? So this is how people are naturally appearing on Google. In order to naturally appear properly on Google, you need to overcome those hoops, those 5,000 algorithm changes that happen every single year. On the right-hand side, you also have your Google Maps listing, which is your local listing that shows up in the local area for the problem that you solve. Now, when Google marries you, you can experience client results like this, like our client Sharon. She's been with us for 6 years. She followed me from another agency. She's one of the reasons how the Search Republic started. But she's persistently on the top of the Google search listings. She's grown her bottom line by 35%, and she's up 50% on last year's figures alone, okay? That's the kind of the results that really make sure that running a business is hard. But when we see results like this, it literally gives me goosebumps, because it's not about how big, it's not how big my bottom line is. My reputation's everything, which is actually how the business started. But seeing clients, businesses transform from the work you're doing, what an honor, it's amazing. This is classic example of dashboards that when clients partner with us for agency, typically what they see. I'm not going to go into it today because I'll be talking about Google Analytics later, but this is just typically, if you do not have data, you cannot make decisions that are empowered around your marketing. You need to have access to the data. This client alone, if you can see in the bottom right-hand corner, this shows all the different channels of traffic that are coming in from the website, but we've generated $1.45 million in sales for this client. And then with Google Ads, what we're seeing here is your ads are in the top few positions. This is what people are paying for, okay? They're paying to be at the top of Google. This is a shorter term strategy to get leads for your service-based business. And essentially, if you see Infinity Weddings and Events, and if you see Luxury Wedding Collections, they're both our clients in a very competitive industry, absolutely killing it. So again, with Google Ads, there are multiple campaigns. These are search ads, but then you'll see on other people's websites, banners that pop up all over the Google display network. Those are display ads, and you also have banners that can actually stalk people, and you also have video ads, which are called YouTube ads. When you're a product-based business, there is a campaign called Google Shopping, which drives product through your website. Now, when you do all of these things, you can generate. This is our client, Ashley, from Luxury Wedding Collections, Perth. She came to us with a problem that she needed more bums on seats to grow her business. We did that, and within the first 10 weeks, we generated $30,000 in business in 10 weeks. She thought the solution to this problem, because she couldn't keep up, was actually turning off Google Ads because she couldn't cope with the demand. But the reason why that was actually good is because she understood how to convert that lead into sale. Now, Steph spoke earlier about the importance of being able to convert people to buy from you. No Google Ads or SEO campaign is ever going to work for a service-based business unless you know how to convert it into a sale. End of story. We are not a magic pill, okay? So these are all in the workbook, so I won't go through them. But again, another service-based business, one of our clients, L'Oreal clients in Sydney, she came to us to fill up her new salon. 1,600 inquiries we got her in 6 months, sitting at 80 cents a click. Ridiculous, okay? So the amazing hidden secrets of Google. There's loads of tools in your book, but I am going to talk you through a few of them. Instagram Insights, I'm sure you've all seen this. Teaches this massively. You would never post until you understand exactly when is the best time to actually post. This is a dashboard that you should all be familiar with if you do socials. Now, the reality of the situation, Google Analytics 4 does the exact same thing, but it not only gives you access to your social traffic, it's all the other channels that are driving traffic back to your site. So if it's organic, if it's your email marketing, if it's your direct, that people know your brand name, your organic social media, the access to the data is it's there for everyone, but you just don't know where to look. However, when you actually set up Google Analytics 4, you can have access to all that data. There is a step-by-step guide to check if it's been set up correctly, and there's also a step-by-step guide to set it up from scratch if it hasn't been already set up, and that's all in your workbook as well. Google My Business, completely untapped as well. Service-based business, if you do not have your Google My Business listing set up, honestly, you're crazy. You just need to, if you take even one thing away from me today, that's really easy to do. It's all in your workbook as well. With this dashboard, you can actually edit your profile. This is like your Google's answer to Facebook and all social media platforms. You can post content there. You can check the analytics, how many calls have come through, how many people requested directions. You can ask for reviews, all of the things, and you can show up in the local listing as well, okay? And Google Trends, I'm sure we're all ahead of the trends on social media, but you also can be ahead of the trends on Google as well. Google Trends, free tool, Google it. It's so easy, right? You can actually see trending keywords and when they're actually appearing. Now, these are all the tools that are in your workbook, how to check your GA4. We also have a keywords everywhere tool. So essentially it's a Chrome extension. You can check the keyword volume, how much searches are happening for that keyword on a given day, on a given month. Also the keyword difficulty, how likely it is to be able to go after those keywords. Then you also have Google My Business Everywhere. So the Google listing setup I showed you, you can see what your competitors are doing and you can actually grab what are the top performing keywords and optimize your Google My Business listing according to the GMB Everywhere tool. Google Search Console flags any issues with your site, and essentially that is like your full disclaimer that you're like, if Google's not liking your site, Google Search Console will tell you what is wrong with your site. Then Hotjar, I spoke about that earlier. There's a step-by-step guide in your workbook as well for that. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news, guys, but 2024 has been a record year for business closures in 9 years. So if that is true and 41% of people are only focusing on organic socials, don't you think it's time to pivot your marketing strategy? Because we don't want to become a statistic. That's the reality of the times that we're in. We need to do things differently and we need to put in the work, okay? Because if nothing changes, nothing changes. Spoiler alert, Google is no magic pill. It's not going to fix all your problems. You need to adopt that omni-channel approach. You need to be everywhere. Classic example, I'm in a 7-figure business with under 5,000 followers and I've literally under 2,000 followers on my personal brand page. If I was focusing on just one channel, I wouldn't be where I am today. It's a range of channels, okay? Understand the problem that you solve and what's in it for the client, because your problem with your campaigns for SEO and Google Ads as well needs to speak to the problem that you're solving. Understand the desire and pain points of your ideal clients. You need to be able to convert a lead into a sale. So Steph talked about sales, you can drive all the leads you want, but if you cannot convert them, no Google Ads campaign or SEO campaign is ever going to fix that. You need to learn how to sell. That also comes back to mindset and what you're worth. And if you constantly hit that glass ceiling of your business, that plateau, why can't I move past it? Why can't I? It's because it's all tied to your self-worth and how much you think you're actually worth in this lifetime. Business is your ultimate personal development journey, and it's taught me all of the shadows that I needed to look at myself. But the other thing what I wanted to say is that your website should not be Ferrari without an engine. And you also need to have the right mindset to scale your business. So you're probably asking yourself, okay, Sonja, this is all great, but where to from here? You might be very clear in this moment, and that's absolutely fine, and take away all the tools and do all the homework. I really want you to do all that anyway. But option 2, you might be thinking, how do I focus on this so-called omni-channel approach? What she's talking about, I have no idea. Right? The thing is, I don't recommend you trying to figure it out on your own, because there's every chance you'll probably burn out quicker than you'd like. You probably will resent your business even more than what you already do. You'll waste all the time because you'll feel actually you're chasing your tail. And that is why I created a brand new program, very limited offer. We opened our doors last week and they closed on the 14th. It's our first live round. It is called the Growth Movement, okay? It's the only marketing membership for location-based service businesses to take you to your multi-6-figure years and beyond. I created this because 80% of people I turn away all the time because they can't afford me. And I have no interest in taking on a client that can't afford me, because it's just going to be a very, very tough gig. And my reputation's everything to me, because when you get the wrong reputation in my industry, it follows you everywhere like a bad smell. Trust me. So the Growth Movement in itself is it was set up for you specifically to help you with your omni-channel approach. Okay, because there's every chance that you're thinking to yourself, okay, I got into business for financial freedom and more time with my precious loved ones, but right now you're working more time in your business than you'd like to admit. Literally, you're trying to keep all the balls in the air. You're literally at the point of, business is hard, is this really for me? You're questioning yourself. But the reality of the situation is that you need to adopt and welcome other channels to grow your business. But you trying to figure that out on your own is not the answer, okay? The omni-channel approach is the way to go. It encompasses everything what the guys talk about as well. But at the same time, you do need to understand that you have to have consistent leads coming through your business. And when you adopt that Google first approach, where people have that first touch point when they find you on Google, you literally can actually experience leads coming through the door. You can actually be living on purpose and knowing what you're here to do in this lifetime. You're actually doing it. You're living and breathing the reason why you started your business in the first place. What you get It's all in the workbook, but this is just, you don't only just get me. Obviously, I'm about to pop out a baby. We have a trusted team of experts that's helped me grow my business, because nobody should actually have to grow their business alone. You're wearing all the hats. You need to actually have the people that are actually qualified in the area to help you grow. You have to have the right mindset. You have to learn the tools. You have to do the work, though. It's up to you. So when the inclusions are all in your workbook as well, so I urge you, if you have any questions, to come speak to me on the break. And again, you can read up on it. And just there's a few bonuses that are expiring today. Expiring in the next few days, you get a Google My Business audit, valued at $997. So that is your Google listing. We'll tell you everything that's wrong with the listing. That's actually part of the program. It's as a standard inclusion. From being here today, you actually get $500 off the price of the actual program itself. That expires next week. You're in with a chance of winning one of 3 SEO on Fire audits. So we'll tell you exactly what's wrong with your website and what needs to be changed. And then you'll actually get a live recording of my Google Secrets Masterclass that I ran last week, because I went through everything very fast today. And then this is all up. The program is actually $2,500. And essentially there's payment plans available, 6 months and 12 months. Come speak to me. And if you need extended payment plans, you know where to find me. And if you feel like you're ready to take everything to the next level and you don't want to do another program, come see me, as we have clients in the room today as well that have done incredibly well. So we have Nicole from Revamped here, and we have Prestige Interiors with Danielle from Prestige Interiors. If you feel like you're ready or you don't even know where to start, just book in. It's QR code. I'm going to be here all day, even though I'm pregnant. So come find me. Thank you.